Hello everyone and welcome to the product release presentation for Milestone Q 4.5, which was from November 18 to December 2019. I am Fatima Nimtiwala and I'm going to talk to you about some of the front-end highlights that we have released in this milestone. So let's get started. The very first thing that we have done is added a heat map to the attribute overview section. So the components that we have, and when we click on the components, it opens an overview model or an embedded view of the component. So we have replaced the chart that was previously there, and we've replaced with the heat map, just like the device overview. The second thing that we have added is heat map to the attribute to the telemetry overview. So the telemetry for device gateway and components that we have is the chart that we had for the health. We have replaced that with the heat map. So we have released a topology tab for the clusters and the gateway. So in the previous version, we had the components lined up in a flat view. So the hierarchy of the components were not displayed on the topology section. So we have changed that, and we have displayed the components in a hierarchical order. So as you can see here, the components are based on the index. Components are displayed in the hierarchy order, so that we can see where the component lies in the whole hierarchy view. The next big thing that we have added is two new recipes. So we have added basic node configuration and basic access configuration. Recipes, as you must know, that recipes are something that we've used for new users, that we can configure some of the settings when we sign up or create a new account. So let's just first see basic node configuration. So this basic node configuration recipe is divided into 4 steps. The very first step is check that whether we have the privileges to create this recipe or not. So first step will be the privileges. The second step will be to create healths. So it is a node configuration, and health plays an important part in the node app. So the second step will cover all the creation of basic healths that we can use in the node service. The third step is the notification step. So in this step, we will set up four notifications, and we will ask them to enter recipient's email address. So if this situation occurs, to which email address does this notification should get sent to? So this notification setup will be done on this step. And the very last step is the observer step. So observer step will check that whether if you have already registered devices in your account, we will check whether all the devices have an observer attached to it or not. If there are no devices attached to it, we will ask you what type of device are you planning to introduce into the system. So based on the type of the device we select, we will find the matching observer for it from the blueprints, and we will create one observer for that. So this was the basic node configuration to get us started for the node app. The second recipe was the basic access configuration. So this recipe is divided into 5 parts. The first part being to check the privileges, the recipe. If we have necessary privileges for this recipe, then only we can move ahead. The next step is the roles. So we will create some basic roles for the account that we feel that it will help us to get started in. The third step is creation of groups. So we will create basic groups for according to different sections. And the fourth step is binding that roles to groups. So we will create roles and bind them to the necessary roles, so that we can later add users to that groups and create privileges according to the groups. The last step is binding users to groups. So we will ask them to add users to the particular group. According to that, we have added descriptions for what groups entail, and we have added so we can add users to it, and we can add privileges to a particular user in that account. So this is how we can add a particular access configuration, and we can give, and we can either give full access to a particular user, or give limited access to a particular user in that account. So this was the recipe section. In the upcoming milestone, we will add a functionality to create role from the cluster service. So we can create role according and groups according to the permissions set for that particular account, and we can create a role from the cluster itself, and much more. So stay tuned. Thank you.